Hey, and welcome to another edition of the Al Young Show. And today, covering for Sergeant WP is Carl Bradfield, who was here last week with us, and he's going to be my special co-host. Hey, Carl,
Hey,
and welcome
how you doing,
today.
Al?
And it's good to have you. And for those of you who don't know, Carl is a author, and he's written a book, and he's got a couple of short articles that he's got going. And also today, coming up, we've got a gentleman who is going to be doing our new business segment, and that's going to be Chuck Middleton from Joint Enterprises Technology. And Chuck, of course, is a veteran who owns his own business. So he'll be coming up very shortly. But just to talk about the one thing that's going on and what's going on in the veterans' affairs these days is the VA loan benefits. And, of course, everybody who's into buying a home or getting additions or anything that's got something to do with veterans loan assistance, this would be something right up your alley. If you're looking to get a VA loan or make improvements to your existing property or anything in that, or installing efficiencies or anything that you got that's going on with your pre-existing or planning on doing anything, you want to look into the VA loan benefits. Now, if you don't know anything about it, you can go online and look up VA loan benefits. If you go to the VA itself, get a hold of the VA benefits book. It'll tell you about it. And there are all kinds of companies, loan banks, the whole 9 yards that will explain these things to you. This is something because a lot of the loan interest rates have dropped from 6 to 3, 3.5, and 4. At one time, those interest rates were way up there. They were like 7 and 8. Yeah. Now they dropped down to 3. So this is a great time to invest or refinance your existing loans.
Yes, I'm in favor of that myself. And they also have on the VA website the My Vet page that you can boot up and find.
Yeah, My Healthy Vet, you could go into that.
Yes,
yeah. And My Healthy Vet will tell you a whole lot of things. It's not just about My Healthy Vet. It covers quite a bit of different avenues as to what you can do on that. You can order DD-214s, everything. But the major thing is if you're looking to refinance and do it. When I bought my house, I started off at 6%. Right now, my current interest rate is 3%. 3% is great. That's a wonderful interest rate, and it saves a lot of money over the long haul. One of the best things that you can do is you get into these interest rates, and then you find out what's the best way to pay it down so that you're making, if you want, sometimes you'll find out that you can even make a double payment in the run of a month, which even brings everything down even quicker. So look into that. That's a great way to save a lot of money. You know, Carl. So how was everything going with you? Anything new?
Oh, fine. Everything is new. Going great since the last time we met, and I've sold a couple more copies of my book, Blue Spaders Vietnam, and I write young adult novels also.
Mm-hmm.
So I've sold them. And I have a collection of short stories that happened in Vietnam that very few people know about, like rubber tree chewing gum. We picked leaning against the rubber tree in the Michelin plantation. We picked the sap off of the tree and chew it because we had no chewing gum in those days. And stories like that's not blood, it's ketchup. Because we carried ketchup or hot sauce in our backpacks, or sea rations in my boot sock. We stuffed our boot sock and tied them off on our harnesses. Little stories like this, you know.
Okay.
It's just it's an ongoing work. It's called Lighter Moments in the Vietnam War,
Mm-hmm.
and as you can see by the photograph here that I took this photograph. If this blows up or we get hurt. That's an 81 millimeter mortar that is being detonated, a dud, that's being detonated by the diehards, the engineers, with another 81 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
you know what? We'll get to some of this a little later.
Yes. Sure.
One other little thing, and today, which is kind of special, I'm going to talk about something that I heard on the news, and then we're going to get to Chuck, because I'm really interested in learning about what his company is all about. And Chuck is also, like I said, a veteran. So we got to find out what's going on with Chuck. Yeah, Chuck is a very exciting guy. I spoke to him on the phone yesterday, and he seemed like he's a lot of fun. He's a really wonderful guy. And then today, we got a one-person audience, which is going to be really good. Would you like to say hi?
Thank you for having me. I look forward to hearing more.
Okay, then. So today's hot topic, though, real quick, is, of course, this is one guy who just loves being a media hound, and that's Edward Snowden. He's at it again. His latest thing, and I'm just going to hit this real quick, and then we're going to take a quick break and bring Chuck on, is now, for all of you people who are so really uptight about privacy and security, I guess as a lot of you may know or think, when you download all these apps on your cell phones or into your tablets or what have you, now he's finally came out and said that when you download them, you have to be very careful because, of course, every time you download something, now you can also be tracked, and there's security risk with apps because people know your location, they know this, they know that. So anytime you do anything with certain apps, you're being tracked or there's something going on. But, again, I keep saying anytime you go for a credit application or anything else or buy anything, TransUnion and Equifax and everybody else is tracking you also. So my whole thing is if you're worried about somebody tracking you, worry about them tracking you. They got more information on you than anybody else would ever have. If you're worried about NSA, worry about them too. Anyway, so much for that. And right now we're going to just take a quick break, and then we're going to bring on Chuck. Mr. Chuck Middleton will be coming up shortly. We'll be right back.
keep our freedom alive. Salute the flag instead. The freedom we enjoy is held within their hands. Their life is on the line. Their family and their friends, they leave them all behind. They give with all their might. The men and women who serve our shining light. They are warriors. Keep our freedom alive. Salute the flag instead. Freedom we enjoy is held within their hands. Their life is on the line. Their family and their friends, they leave them all behind. They give with all their might. The men and women who serve our shining light. They are warriors. The men and women who strive to keep our nation strong. We honor family members who are left behind to carry on. May we never forget the prisoner of war, missing in action and killed in action. God bless our retired veterans, and God bless the USA. Through the struggle and fight to survive, they keep freedom alive. They march into foreign lands with liberty in their hands. Now thank the soldier today. Now bless the soldier today.
Oh, and we're back. Okay. Just had a little laugh going there. And we're back with Chuck Middleton, and he is the owner of Enterprise Technologies. And Chuck, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're glad to have you
Good to
here.
see you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And listen, so now tell us a little bit about Enterprise Technologies. What is your company all about?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. I was a 20-year Air Force person that was in intelligence, but I did all of the systems for all of my organizations. Got a degree in it while I was in. My business partner was in comms and networks his entire Air Force career, 20 years.
Right.
Retired, and we ended up in the same church one spring season. And he was saying something out loud like, I think I'll start a IT company. And I was saying something out loud, I think I'll start an IT company. And we got together and decided we had the same mission, the same goals, and we put this company together. And in 2008, we went live, and we've been here ever since, trying to take our IT knowledge that we experienced in the military and our 20 years of civilian work as government contractors out to the business community.
And now, are you located here in the Tampa Bay area?
Our business office is located right at the intersection of Crosstown and 301.
Okay.
You can consider that Brandon, you can consider that Tampa or Riverview.
Okay. Yeah, that's the area I live in anyway. So
Right. So most people, they think that's Brandon area, but it's listed zip code-wise as Tampa.
Right. Okay, yes. Well, now, you've been in business for ever since 2008.
That's correct.
And how's things going?
Things are going a lot better. What we've done is we've always been attached as government contractors or consultants with some company one way or the other. Now we're trying, and little by little we're getting our own piece of the pie. We've got a subcontract with GD. We've worked with the school system. A lot of singular contracts with the business community out there, commercial side. this guy needs a computer, this person needs something fixed, they need contracting help, off-site storage, which is big now in the HIPAA world when you come to that kind of thing. So we're doing all of that, trying to get our niche. We're not trying to get rich, we're just trying to give some things back to the community and finally have control over what is happening out there with the business relationship between the owners and the people that they're serving, because we've seen a lot of horror stories, and we're trying to make it better.
Well, let me ask you something. Now, being military, and I think a lot of things that people are interested in is knowing that when you get out, do you get that GI loan or a business loan from the government that helps you guys start off, that makes it a little bit easier, being that you were, coming out of the military?
You could have done that, but what my business partner and I have been semi-prepared. So we had a little stash that we started out. We'll start up cash. We didn't go out for a loan.
Then.
We applied for some just in case we needed them when we got the big contracts.
Right.
You hire 15 people. We don't have pocket money to give them all contracts. Give them all salary until the contract becomes payable. But we are now waiting for that big contract. Then we'll get that loan. But we are looking at it, and it's there. All of our professional help says that we will be eligible should the time come.
Okay, because I think that these are the things that people look at when they're starting businesses, whether or not the things that they promised us when we were in, is it available for us? And when we start, is it really going to help us that we served our country, and is the country going to help us?
Right. I'm not the optimist on that. I'm the pessimist. I know that it's available, but it all depends on the conditions of the financial world. When you go out and ask for a loan, if the government or if the civilian or populist market doesn't support it, people are holding on to their dollars, it's hard to get them. But we qualify for the programs. We put our name on the list. Do you get down to the final chop so they give you that money? I don't know. We will find out, hopefully, in the very near future.
Well, hey, listen, the major thing is, it's two veterans out there who are being successful, and I think that's the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you guys are doing what you need to do and you're being successful at it, is that not what it's all about?
Roger that. And something you mentioned, I'm not one of the guys to stand on the stump and do this kind of stuff, but remember, the business partner and I met in church.
Yes.
One of the things we noticed about a lot of the business out there is they follow the green, and nobody really has the integrity to do what they know is right, even if they get in a situation where it's not beneficial to them. I get a check from him every time I even get close to that line, and I check him when I see him getting that way. It won't come from our side. I promise you that. Any of our customers can count on us giving them the better service and not trying to go for the green dollar.
Well, you know what? I think, and I don't really care how people look at certain things, but, when you're doing it and your heart is in it and you're getting divine guidance, I think that helps a whole lot because, every Sunday, I find myself in church, and I find my family in church, and I think God works in mysterious ways. So we get what we need.
Sure.
And a lot of people may not agree with that teaching, but hey, listen, that's them.
May I point out my T-shirt? That's my super T-shirt.
Well, listen, I think a lot of us, a lot of us agree that's the way we come up. And then that's our beliefs. So we go with it.
Oh, yes.
I just want to interject one thing. I noticed that I am the shorter of the three of us here, but you fellas would never fit into a Viet Cong tunnel. I want to tell you.
Oh, no. Well, listen.
Because it takes a little guy to go in there.
Well, I was kind of like when I got into the military, I kind of wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I was a happy guy that I didn't fit into one. Okay, so it didn't bother me not to fit into one. But you know what? The major thing is that the people who did fit into them and all the people who did the jobs that they did when they came back, that now they're getting all the services that is owed to them, that everybody is taken care of.
I've only recently, since this summer, been involved with the VA. And I have a friend, he's a general. He flew Cobras in Vietnam. They didn't exist when I was there, but they came later. But he took me over to the VA in Tampa, and they have changed since my time coming back.
A lot of things have changed. Matter of fact, our Bridget, who's here, is going to be one of the people who is trying to get her business going to help a lot of veterans and to help those who are in need.
Yeah, and I want to point out if you allow me to point out two things. Number one, there is a Christian professional network in the Tampa Bay area where I would love to invite you all to come. We are all Christian-based businesses from different venues, so if any of you want to attend, I will be glad to hook you up. And what I'm trying to do, my business is called Perfect Workplace Enterprises. I am looking to access the people that are severely disabled, that can't necessarily attend a 9-to-5 job, but they want to do something. And I'm not saying that I'm the master of all trades, but I'm trying to hook up people with business opportunities that they can do from home. And I'm looking to service people that are disabled, caregivers, or senior citizens. And of course, all that includes all the branches of the military and the veterans.
How would anyone get in contact
I
with you?
have a business card, and
Bridget gave me her business
I will
card.
be glad. The website is called perfectworkplaceenterprises.com. And if you stick my name in front of it, that's my email address. My name is spelled Birgit. So I would be glad to speak and talk to anyone who is interested. Right now I'm looking for board members because I would love to incorporate it as a nonprofit corporation and maybe get some extra help. My vision in the future would be that we can actually help jumpstart some seed money for people with disabilities.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me talk about that.
Sure, Bridget. And what we'll do is we'll have you on in the future, and we'll devote a whole segment to you.
Thank you.
How's that? But like I say, getting back to our main theme, which is going to be enterprise technologies, you guys are, how many employees do you have right now about?
Right now, we have myself and my business partner handle the C-level duties. We hired one financial person that does our HR and does help keep us out of tax trouble.
Okay.
And as we get the contracts, we hire depending on the contract.
Contracts.
So we're fluxing now. We've had one or two different jobs that require us to hire, and then after that's over there for the term of the contract. We're not.
Well, government jobs is
Right.
always varies anyway, or whatever type of job. So that's great.
Right.
You know, my whole thing is, you know, I think it's good to see military come out, get something going, and regardless of how you're doing it, succeed. I think that's the greatest thing going is that we do something. Carl Wright, you know, you guys are doing IT, and then the next guy is doing something else because we have another guy who comes and he does recycling.
Right.
And, you know, it's good to see so many different military individuals come out from the different branches and they do things.
Right.
You know, it's great.
I kind of cheat. I did 20 years in the military and immediately stepped out into a government contracting job.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've done 20 years of that. Now, I have not had a civilian job since I've been in the military. I can survive in that environment. I know it's different, and I love my brothers. I can understand when you talk about your Humvees and you talk about all this. That's not rhetoric to me. But my family and any of my friends, they said, you talk in so many acronyms that you lose us after the first few words. I have never been lost. I've always been around my brothers, and I'm going on my 20th year of retirement after the military. So it has been a joy. I have never left the military space is what I'm saying.
Chuck, well, do you know how many guys do the same thing?
A lot.
Come on.
A lot.
Every day they get out, and no sooner than they get out, they just kind of like change the uniform.
That's correct.
You know, that's all they do is they change the uniform, and they're right back as far as contractors are concerned.
You do what you know.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that because as far as I'm concerned, you know, it becomes a part of your life.
Yes.
You know, you just make a different kind of uniform, but, you know, it's the same thing. And, hey, I just can't imagine, because when I got out and I realized so many people go right back in, and and when I say go back in, they become contractors. And for the next X amount of years, that's the way they remain.
No, you were Army, and you were Army.
Army, yes.
Well, I was in Air Force, called a Zoomy, and it's no accident that my company acronym is Joint Enterprise Technologies, JET.
Oh, okay.
That is not an accident. so yeah, I've got military on the brain. So
Yeah,
that was not an accident.
But you know what? It's good because you're still there. You're still hanging in. And you know what, man? You still look the picture of health. You look like you just stepped out of uniform yesterday.
Well, now you guys know better than that, because I went and tried to put that uniform back on. I think we both may know that it's not going to close up.
Well, yours might fit you a lot better than mine would.
I can still fit mine.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, yeah.
48 years ago.
See, now some people like to throw that in our face, Al.
Well, yeah. Well, if I let mine out about 7 times, I'd probably get back into it.
Yes, but I've never left the military. I'm so comfortable in it, and God's been nice to me. The military community's been nice to me, and I surround myself with nice people.
Well, you know what? I find out that what I like to do is I like to go back and make sure that everybody who's not been taken care of is taken care of. And guys and ladies take care of business, because so many of us walk around and we're banging into walls, and they don't need to be banging into walls. They need to be going through open doors and getting all the things that they should be getting. And it's amazing how people get out and they don't seem to find that open door that's going to help them.
I think some of them have this concept that it's really, really tough getting into that environment.
Yeah.
Especially if it's, been given so much hype about the government contractors, having the great jobs and all the great money, and they have the superior mind. We are all doing exactly what we did when we were in. We're just doing it in a different environment, different format. So I try to tell my brothers that are getting out, whatever you've been doing has been good enough for the military. You've been working with military people. Those are contractors out there, mostly military. If they listen to your spiel and see if you honestly did the work and you are competent in it, someone will hire you to do the same thing, because that's how we got started.
Well, like I tell a lot of people also, if you were in the military and you just use your brain a little bit, you got things done.
Right.
You knew how to go from point A to point B.
Right.
And hey, once you get out, you know how to get things done also.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's all you did was you use your brain and you kept going. Well, listen, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back, all right?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
Okay, and hey, listen, I want to thank everybody for really tuning in this week. And this week we have our special guest, Mr. Chuck Middleton from Joint Enterprise Technology. And like I said, he's an Air Force guy, and we love these Air Force people, you know. Oh, listen, now here's the cute part that nobody knows. Now, this guy is one of the most intelligent people floating around the place. And the reason I said that because now when you think about MOSs or specialties, he had one of the best specialties floating around. Now, there aren't too many people that I can say that I admire when it comes down to their military occupational specialty. Now, please tell them your specialty that you had in the military.
Well, my last 15 years, I was intelligence specialist doing targeteering and photo interpretation.
Now, what was it? What was it called? What was it? MOS? Well, I mean, what was the?
I was called a 206, the squint.
Okay.
Photo interpreter.
Before I got out, I was a 96 Delta. That was, I think, the old version. Now it's called what is it? A 35 Golf, and that would be the same. So there aren't too many people. If you didn't have that MOS, I don't really think that highly of you. So that must mean that he was really a smart guy.
So what you're trying to say is we had the same one. All right, okay.
So of course that makes you a really smart guy.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
I was 11 Bravo.
Oh yeah, well
We didn't call ourselves Grunt. We called ourselves Gents of the Jungle.
well listen, man. Listen. Without everybody's MOS, it wouldn't have worked.
True.
I don't care how smart we were. You have to have people, because you know what? If somebody's just down there talking about, oh yeah, there it is, and nobody's taking care of it, you know, want to know something? It doesn't work.
That's true. That's true.
Because if you have somebody down there and nobody's taking care of anything else, it does not work. Because if you got a puzzle and pieces are missing, then you don't really have a completed puzzle. Every piece of that puzzle has to work together. So I always laugh at when people say how important their job is, and then you say, yeah, well, listen, if you don't have the other part of that puzzle, it doesn't work at all. And I always like to say that we appreciate everyone, and we like to say thank you. Carl, thank you for this week.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad that
Thank
you
you, Al,
came.
for being here.
And Bridget, thank you very much for being here this week. And Bridget will be back next week. And again, thank you everyone for being here. And until next week,
Thank you, Chuck.
have a wonderful week, everyone. And we'll see you back next week.
I love my daddy.
My name is Cody White, and I'm a disabled American veteran. I joined the United States Army in 2002, and I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom from November of 2003 until November of 2004. I was diagnosed formally with post-traumatic stress disorder with generalized anxiety disorder. Kiowa helicopter was shot down in the middle of the city. Every day literally felt like a constant struggle to stay alive. One thing about the disabled American veterans that really stood out for me was the fact that they were so involved in the community.
They were able to help him get all the benefits that he deserved. And there's always another wife there that you can sit with, that you can talk to. My children are able to be involved in the junior auxiliary, and it has grown our family, definitely.
Whenever they make a promise, you know they're going to keep it.
Daddy, go! Daddy! Daddy, go!